The humble Ford Fiesta has been gracing the British roads for over 47 years, with an unbelievable 22 million cars being produced during its production spanning 9 generations. Almost everyone has their own memory or story to share about the Fiesta. 1989 saw the introduction of the Mark III Fiesta. Along with that came the infamous Fiesta RS Turbo, a true hot hatch of its time, produced to rival the likes of Fiat Uno Turbos and Peugeot 205 GTIs. The RS Turbo came equipped with a 133 brake horsepower, 1.6 litre turbo engine and quickly became a boy racer's pin-up car. Although rapid for its time, over the years that followed, the Fiesta tuning game heated up, with the most hardened of RS Turbo owners opting to swap its punchy 1.6 turbo engine for the newer gen, larger capacity 2-litre Zetec engine, and then turbo it for good measure, creating a formidable 90s hot hatch that earned a serious reputation on the streets. Flash forward 24 years since the Mark III's release to 2013 and to the Mk7 Fiesta ST, once again sporting a 1.6 litre turbo engine, however this time with 180 brake horsepower. And just like the RS Turbo, its younger sibling quickly become a boy racer's favourite, once again igniting the Fiesta tuning scene. And just like the Mark III RS Turbo Zetec swap, it would seem history has begun to repeat itself. As today, for the first time, we document what's believed to be the first engine conversion of its type, mating a tuned 500 bhp version of the newest gen 2.3 litre Turbo Focus ST engine to the tiny Fiesta ST, creating one of the most powerful Mk7 Fiesta STs the world has ever seen.
Jamie.
Hello mate.
Welcome back to the channel.
Thank you mate.
You're actually someone from Devil Developments that is not seen all the time. However, you have been on once before with an Evo. We've done like your mate's 1,000 brake horsepower Evo or something like that.
Yeah.
You've come down from Devil Developments today. Yes, me and Devil Developments are still friends, so don't think anything else. Yeah, we're all good. You brought me down a special car today.
Yeah.
I was intrigued when you told me you had done something very interesting with your shop car, your shop van.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. There's a bit of a story with it. We actually got this van in exchange for an engine. We swapped it for a built engine with someone, and literally used it as a work van for probably 3-4 years or so.
Cool.
It's got the rear seats out of it. It's got the van pack in there with a plastic bulkhead, all that sort of thing. It literally got used as a workhorse. It blew up, the stock engine, so we decided we wanted to do something a little bit special with it. So we fitted the 2.3 EcoBoost, the Gen 2 engine from the current Mark IV Focus ST.
Mate, now that is crazy. Let's put some respect on this, because we think this is the first time this has been done.
Yeah, as far as we know, this is...
It's the first time. So we've now got a 2.3 litre engine.
Yeah.
You haven't just put it in, you've tuned it too, right?
Yes, yeah. So this is running a Fiesta SYVECS S8 plug-and-play kit. Nice. It actually uses the Fiesta engine loom as well, with some subtle kind of plug changes, that sort of thing. Just so that all of the integration with the car was easy, all the CAN bus stuff, all of that just works straight out of the box. We made it a little bit difficult for ourselves because it's using mostly ancillary stuff from a Mark III Focus RS, so the Gen 1 2.3 engine.
Interesting.
It's also running a Precision NX2 bolt-on turbo for a Mark III RS as well, which is a kind of 500 horsepower capable turbo.
Yeah.
we managed to squeeze just into the 500s out of it on the dyno with a little bit of ethanol in the fuel tank. But we're running 8 injector setup on this.
Can you lift this up, because it's quite cool, because it looks very
It does.
bro, it's unsuspected. Like, honestly, if you didn't know that this was different and you didn't know what's meant to be under here, you just think it's normal.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
So
there you go.
Got the mount tune inlet with the set of port injectors.
Man, that's crazy. So 8 injector setup, SYVECS, but a stock engine, right?
Yeah, this is a unopened stock engine. So this engine, we had this engine. So we Devil Developments and remain at RACECAL. We work with the LAMERA Cup race series in France. They recently changed over to the 2.3 EcoBoost. So we did a bit of development on an engine dyno with the second gen engine.
This kind of power on an unopened 2.3. Now there'll be people at home thinking, oh boy, she's gonna blow. But this is actually the revised version, right? And they're a lot better. You were telling me off camera.
Yeah, so whilst they look very similar, you know, externally, there's a lot of subtle changes to them. They've got different pistons and rods, which are much stronger. The oil pump setup is completely different to the first gen 2.3. It's got an integrated balance shaft and oil pump module altogether. The cylinder head's slightly different. It's got bigger valves. Camshafts are a little bit different. So it's a revision of the Mark III RS engine, but made a lot better. Like,
for 500 brake horsepower going through the front wheels in this small car, it must be absolutely crazy, bro.
It is, yeah. To be honest, it's really surprised me how well it actually puts the power down with obviously the SYVECS traction control, which is, you know, a lot less intrusive and much quicker to cut in and out than the factory traction control is. In the dry, it's, you know, third gear, it's really moving.
Gearbox, what's
so this is using, obviously it's still front wheel drive, so we're using a Mark III Focus ST 250 gearbox. Gear cable shifter out of that, which took a little bit of grafting to make fit inside the car. Drive shafts, these are some custom made drive shafts, obviously to keep the Fiesta outer CV joints and hubs, all of that sort of stuff. It's got a competition stage 4 paddle clutch, which is a little bit overkill, but it's what we had lying around at the time when we were building the car. We're probably going to put a stock Mark III RS clutch in this, because it's a light car, it's going to handle the sort of torque it's making. But yeah, apart from that, it's all stock. Still got an open diff at the moment as well.
Okay, well I guess with the SYVECS management, it kind of you don't feel it as much.
To be honest, you could get away quite easily for a road car with not putting a diff in this. It's actually surprisingly good.
And also, just to prove to the people in the back, if it's open, this is literally a van. This is this is crazy. Are you going to be offering this as like a package or anything?
Yeah, so it's still fairly early doors with, you know, getting some proper road miles on the car and, you know, making sure everything is working as it should, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's definitely something we're going to be looking at offering as a conversion for people if they want to do it.
Wicked.
Once we've worked out pricing, that sort of thing, and sort of the various different power levels of the conversion.
For sure. Well, wicked. Guys, if you want a 2.3 litre Fiesta ST mad sleeper that's going to gap most things on the road, hit Devils up, and of course in due time they'll be able to hopefully offer this. However, I'm very keen to see what this bad boy does on the road, so shall we hit the road?
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, Jamie, so all the power in this car.
All the power.
No switchable maps.
No, we got one map, that's it.
Give us a little taste. Oh my God. Bro, this is bad. This reminds me of like a boosted 500 brake horsepower like EP3, like in terms of how quick we're moving. Apart from this is putting the power down.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It's got that real kind of still quite raw feeling to it because it's so small and light.
And it's tinny, innit? You're in like a tinny can, and especially with the seats removed too, everything kind of echoes through. But it's like, it's very torquey because when you're on it, you're pinned. Like, what kind of torque?
This is making 450, 460 pound-feet.
Oh wow!
So it's a lot of torque, and you know you've got a power band from like 3,500 up to 6.5. So you got a massive.
Is it revving to 6.5 or revving a little bit further?
about 6.8 or so. I think the rev limiter is at. We're not revving it mega high because it's a completely stock engine. It's still got balance shafts, all that sort of thing.
boost by gear, right?
We've got a little bit of boost by gear in first and second gear at the moment,
Okay.
but third gear upwards is all it's got. But,
Bro, this is spicy.
Yeah, the gear ratios where obviously it's got the focus gearbox and slightly smaller wheels, it's effectively brought the gear ratios down a little bit.
Okay.
Fourth, fifth, sixth gear, it keeps pulling the same in every gear.
You kind of feel it walk a little bit, right?
Yeah, it does obviously with the open diff, it does lose traction. And if you're not in a dead straight line, it will move a little bit.
It's kind of sliding around the road, but it's still moving straight.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
that's the thing.
Jeez. Yeah, this, bro, the more you're putting your foot down, it's like, its power band is so vast, it just pulls. I'm like, when's it going to stop?
It doesn't fall off at the top at all. I think the boost, it does raise by, probably 3 or 4 psi across the rev range, so it does, the torque stays pretty much flat the whole way across, but the horsepower just gets more and more and more the whole way up to the top, so it pulls really well, even like right to the limiter.
Right, guys, yes, it is that time. It is the gassed up 0 to 60s with the V-Box Performance Box Touch in the damp with a very, very high powered front wheel drive car. Now, the front wheel drive leaderboard is actually quite spicy. Shout out to Mahir from MK Performance. He came down with his Cooper. It's like 900 brake horsepower, again with a very clever traction control system, and he managed to break into the 4s. So 4.87, I think it was.
That's fast.
Very fast. However, second position on this leaderboard is a Fiesta, brother. A Fiesta with a 1.6 lump at about 330 brake horsepower. I think it done a 5.37, and I think it was damp or wet. Yeah, okay. So if you're trying to beat anyone, you're trying to beat that. So have you got any guesstimates or estimates of what you might do today?
To be honest, I've never tried launching this at all, so this is going to be straight out the box.
Yeah, we're all about to find out together.
Yeah, it wants to be in the 5s.
When you're ready, should we hit the road?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. All right, Jamie, no pressure.
Go.
First attempt. When you're ready, let's go. Good.
That's
5.36.
What did the other one do?
I don't know. Oh. Very, very close to that.
Okay.
Very close to that. Do you reckon you could beat that?
We've got to give it another go.
He's going again. All right, Jay, your final attempt, bro. When you're ready. Good. 60, slower. She was slower. That was a 5.55. I'll put the leaderboard up now. I'm not sure where you're ranking. We all know front wheel drive cars, more power doesn't mean quicker 0 to 60, and this is not a 0 to 60 car. Yeah. But for science sake, now we know. Back behind the wheel of a Mk7 Fiesta ST. It's been a long time since I've drove one.
Yeah. It's probably well, when you had your one, must have been 3.
It must have been 3. I probably got rid of it about 3 years ago. I'm trying to think, have I driven one since? I've got a feeling I've driven one, but anyway, it feels like a familiar environment, but an environment I haven't been in for a while. And also, I just want to say a massive shout out to Devil Developments and the work that you've put into this car to push it above and beyond. Because again, I always say this stuff, and in fact, I pick the cars that I bring on the channel based on this, but I love people who push the boundaries and do stuff that no one else is doing to make something a little bit different, if that makes sense. And I feel with this, you've done that, and it just works so well.
It does.
Do you know what I mean? But just the sounds, you hear the turbos.
Yeah, I mean, it's you hear it making noises from 2,000 RPM.
Because from outside, when you're like cruising slowly, it's very unsuspecting.
It's very quiet off boost. Weirdly, also sounds very similar to the original engine.
Yeah. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do first, I'll do a little pull in third, just to get a feel for it, and go from there. So, right, let's go. Bro, up top it starts moving around, doesn't it?
Yeah, top 4th gear it starts to, to pull you around a little
bit. But that's fun though, bro. But I like how it's still, it's very confidence inspiring for a front wheel drive car with this kind of power. You're not fighting it, you're not on and off the throttle trying to keep the wheels from spinning. Do you know what I mean? It just works. Just a little bit of driving the faster you go, if that makes sense. But that's part of the fun, right? Let's go. I thought, no, we're going fast enough. We're going, because it starts really moving around, like, the faster you go. And, yeah, I don't think these roads are bigger. You know, I pick roads based on the power of the cars, and I think this is overpowering the roads we're on, to tell the truth. This car is savage.
It is, yeah.
It's savage.
Yeah, it's, you know, when you consider back to what it is.
Yes,
it's a Fiesta ST. That,
it's a van, bro.
It's a van.
Oh, easy on it. Bro, nah, this is mad.
It is, yeah.
This is wild, bro.
Yeah.
This is wild.
It's like it's got that feeling of a real kind of unhinged, overpowered car, but with the electronics to actually make it work.
Kind of raw car that kind of is modern.
Yeah.
Third gear is fun.
Yeah.
Because you're getting a little bit of you're getting a bit of this, and then fourth gear is like, boy, how brave are you?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Fourth gear it probably hooks up, and that's when it starts to like actually drag you along the road.
Bro, this car's too quick. It's too quick for these windy roads, bro. It's doing all this madness, but man. Yeah, this is crazy. This gets to silly speed very quickly.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, this is honestly like a B-road weapon. Like, if you're really like in tune with how to drive this car fast on a B-road, there's not a lot getting away from it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't care what they're in. Like, this is wild.
And just like that, my first experience of one of the world's craziest Mk7 Fiesta STs comes to an end. They say there's no replacement for displacement. And this time round, I think they're right. Yes, if you really lean on the 1.6 with a big enough turbo and a full engine build, you might be able to get 450 plus brake horsepower, but usually lose all of the low down drivability and response. Just bear in mind, this ST is still on a stock engine. Just imagine this engine built with a full frame turbo. We could be talking about 700 plus bhp. Absolutely crazy. A massive shout out to Devil Developments for pushing the boundaries and building this little ripper, with a special thanks to RACECAL, SYVECS, LAMERA and AMS, links to which can be found down below in the description. If you've enjoyed today's video, show your support by hitting the thumbs up. And if you're into fast cars and the modified car world, please consider subscribing. And I'll be back real soon with another epic video. Peace out.